The movie you're making me watch today is 2001 Royal Tenenbaum Wes Anderson classic starring everyone. Jake. Take two. What's your word?
Colorful.
Colorful. Schwartzy.
That's my word. What's your word, Schwartz?
Illuminating.
Mine
It's
is
just
distasteful.
Distasteful?
I don't know. I didn't like it.
Fair enough.
I didn't like it.
I mean,
it was obvious. It was boring. It was. No, I'm just kidding. I thought it was phenomenal. My word is actually meticulous.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Meticulous. I'd like to see the storyboards for this movie.
Right, yeah. It's so like put together. It's so precise. He's such an auteur of his craft. Like Wes Anderson kills it. Like just from the music to like every fucking frame. Like you said, like the storyboards would be great to look at. Every frame is like a fucking painting.
Every frame.
It's great.
Every frame is. I mean, it's just meticulously thought out. It's like one of the most well thought out movies I've ever seen. It's great. I'm sure all of his movies are like that, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say like if there was a negative on this, I was sort of realizing like this isn't really my favorite Wes Anderson movie, and I maybe would have even picked a different one, but I'm glad you like this one a lot because I mean this was definitely a good choice because this is always like a jumping off point. I feel like for a lot of Wes Anderson people, I'm pretty sure it was my first one, if not Rushmore, because I was like probably like 15 when this movie came out. Rushmore maybe a little
Now,
younger.
is
So I probably
Rushmore
saw this
as stylized as this movie?
I don't, maybe not quite, but pretty damn close. Like he's pretty particular about every shot. Everyone is very it's similar. Like it's more of a starting point, maybe like those like
exactly.
Those
I did some like research or
symmetries.
some Googling, and people said that was a better starting point just because it wasn't as if you're gonna dive into Wes Anderson, start there.
The biggest difference,
but I wasn't upset by starting in Royal Tenenbaums. I think it was amazing.
Yeah,
the biggest difference I think, and is that just the production design starting for Royal Tenenbaums is what changed a lot. Like the camera's still there, the quirkiness still there, but he really started fucking with the production design, and then from here on out, it's just pretty much amazing.
Yeah, the production design was probably the most important part of that whole thing.
Yeah, not even that. Like the outfits, just like wardrobe. Like I'm never one to like pay that much attention to that type of thing. But like every outfit had every character had like their own like specific style and their own like. Sometimes some of them dressed the same the whole movie, which almost was cartoonish, which I found amusing. But they all had their particular sense of style, and it was interesting.
Yeah, and the choices for the children to the adults was perfect.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The casting was amazing. I mean, it's just name your A-list. I mean, pretty much all A-list stars: Gene Hackman, Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelica Houston, Ben Stiller, both the Wilsons.
Yep.
Owen Wilson wrote the movie with Wes Anderson. They both wrote the screenplay.
Yeah, that's right. And it's so like it's every fucking Wes Anderson movie is like stacked like this too. Like now that you've seen this one, I hope you want to expand more into these Wes Anderson movies because he's got a lot of fucking good ones, man.
One thing you'll find too is that Bill Murray is usually the center of everyone. This is one of the only ones that he's not the center of. Well, I guess the early ones, one of the only early ones, but he's in all of them, which is
he's in and out. It depends on the movie.
He's definitely not, and he's not a Tenenbaum. Technically,
no. Like he's the lead in Life Aquatic, which I would have maybe in hindsight chose that one to talk about, but because that's one of my favorites.
Is he Steve Zissou?
He's Steve Zissou. Yes, he's the lead guy. He's the character. He's the title character. He's probably the second build in Rushmore, which is like another one of my favorites.
Yeah, he gets just as much screen time as the first build.
As what?
As Jason Schwartzman, he gets just as much screen time in Rushmore.
No, Schwartzman's in literally every scene.
Literally?
Yeah.
Are you sure literally every scene?
I think so. I watched it yesterday. I'm pretty sure he's in just about every scene.
You don't watch movies.
I watched 3 movies yesterday. Those are 2 of them. No Korean movies yesterday, though, guys. So don't
What
get
is
excited.
wrong with you? Are you okay?
I don't know.
You have the COVID?
I've been playing a Japanese video game, so
Oh,
I
nice.
feel like I'm getting my Asian culture and my
What kind of
subtitles
game
through
is it?
that. It's a
Kinda
samurai
racist,
open
but
world
whatever.
game. It's a samurai open world game. It's like about the Mongols taking over Japan in like 1200s. And
crazy.
you're playing as a samurai.
How'd they
in this
get
open
over there?
world. Boat.
I guess. I mean, they didn't fucking fly.
Yep. They took boats.
Yeah, dude.
It's the opening scene of the
Mongols
video
are
game.
on boats?
Yeah, dude, Mongols took boats, dude.
Damn, I didn't even consider that. I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's-
they took over Japan. Did they take over Japan or were they defeated?
I don't know. I'll find out. It depends on how I play the game.
Oh, can you
Change
choose
history
sides?
in the game. I love it.
No, I'm just a samurai guy. I'm kind of like one of the last samurais in the area. It's Ghost of Tsushima, but that's the
Anyway,
name of the game.
Royal
Anyway.
Tenenbaums.
Royal Tenenbaums.
Gene Hackman kills it.
Not Korean, but it's still a good movie.
What a good story. Good storytelling. Good. I mean, it's just A plus storytelling.
Yeah,
That's all it
Very-
is.
very thorough. Whole family, a lot of characters, a lot of depth to all the characters.
Visually as well as narratively also. And am I wrong in saying that that's Alec Baldwin narrating the whole thing?
Yes, that's soothing voice.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He
I
does
think
have a soothing voice. It's like my dad's voice.
The intro set the fucking tone too. Like the whole intro to each character, like how they show the one kid's room's on the first floor, the second kid's room's on the second floor, and then it goes up to the top, and then I kind of feel like he wrote this as a play. It's almost like a play that they kind of just like decided to make into a movie, because even the epilogues and the chapter changes, you see
Well,
it. They have
it's
on
a
the
book.
They have,
Yeah.
they have all the. But what I'm saying
It was
is, I
written
think
like a
it's
novel.
one of the plays that was like on the wall type of thing, like a book, like a playbook. You know what I mean? I agree. I think the acting from everybody was ridiculous. This movie, when I first saw it, made me go back and watch a lot of Gene Hackman movies, and I realized that Gene Hackman is one of the best actors ever. He's made some pretty great movies. Danny Glover,
Name
of
your
course.
top 5 Gene Hackman movies.
Top 5 Gene Hackman: Enemy of the State, Royal Tenenbaums, French Connection, Mississippi Burning, and Hoosiers.
With Hoosiers? Huh?
Hoosiers.
Interesting
Basketball.
choice. All right. About
Pretty
the,
fair
famous basketball
about the Indiana basketball team.
Yes, it is. It is. It's a good movie.
I remember it. I don't remember very well, but I remember being all right.
You don't remember? He was also in Ants.
Classic
I don't know.
vibe.
He was in Ants.
It was your Cool Hand Luke of basketball movies.
You mean it sucked?
Yeah, Luke.
On-
I think, like you said before, the camera movement, along with the production design, along with the music combined, was some of the best I've ever seen. And when I first saw this movie, I watched it again immediately as soon as it was over, because I was so enthralled by it. Like, it's the perfect mix of comedy and drama to me. Like, the whole, when they find out Margot, and Luke Wilson and Bill Murray found out Margot like did all the shit that she did and how he's in love with her, and then like Dudley's like, do you want to play some experiment? You want to do some experiments on me? He's like, no. And then the next scene is Owen Wilson trying to kill himself in the room, set to the Elliott Smith song. It's just so superbly done. Like, it's just filmmaking at its absolute like strongest, and that's why I think we chose the right movie of his, because this is his best made movie. Like, I don't think any of his movies are better told than this. Like, you might like Steve Zissou better, and I might like Grand Budapest better, but this is his epic masterpiece by far, in my opinion. This is definitely his best made movie. I don't think he will top this as far as style and filmmaking go. I don't think he's ever topped it. Or
Grand Budapest, maybe.
I don't know.
He writes
That's-
all of his movies?
Yeah, he writes, directs. He's fucking controls. He picks all the music. He does everything.
He does everything. He's like, that's why I told you that quote from Scorsese the other day. Like, they asked like, who was the person most like you, or like coming up, and the person you love. He's like Wes Anderson, because he does things the same way I do. Because you think about it, Scorsese, the use of music and camera work in his movies, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The music.
I think my favorite characters
The camera work in Wes Anderson is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
it's nails it.
Crazy whip pans and zooms and
Yep.
And
I've seen them all. I've seen all those moves. I've just never seen them put together like this, in this context, in this genre, whatever genre this is. I've never seen it. This kind of, I mean, it's almost Tarantino-esque in that he takes something from everywhere. I don't know how to say that, but he just takes all the things he likes and makes the best version of that in one movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like you're saying, it was all so meticulously planned to every inch. And I actually have a list of the little things, I call them. So this is my list. Ready? So the TV tied to the TV tied to the radiator when she comes to see her, I thought was awesome. The glove, the finger cut off the glove in the beginning when she loses
just
the finger.
that whole little explanation, like the beginning, intros of everybody.
The Gypsy Cab Company, I thought that was awesome. When Henry, being Danny Glover, falls in the hole at the expedition site, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
The paintings in Eli's apartments of like the battles with the Indians on dirt bikes and all that shit, that was amazing.
But it seems like these are real things that happen to these guys, to Wes Anderson and who Owen Wilson wrote it with him.
Yeah.
These are real situations that they were in that they just made into a movie, you know?
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I see how
otherwise, how could you these are so these situations are so out of this, are so obscure. It's like you almost had to experience this firsthand. You can't real life is crazier than fiction or whatever that saying is.
I think it's taking a story that could be told in such a simple way and just making it something that's like not real almost. Because like, what city were they in? Like, it looked like New York, but it didn't look like New York. You know what I mean? It was almost like everything was not real. Like the movie didn't take place.
It's almost like he has his own his own universe. Like again, like Tarantino.
Right. I agree. Yeah, like very surreal at times.
So hold on, I'm gonna keep.
All those movies are kind of like that. Yeah, cartoonish.
The machines in Royal's room when he's like supposedly sick, there's just like beeping, like almost Star Wars like machines with lights just flashing and like tubes going nowhere. That was pretty great.
In Royal's room? I don't know.
Yeah, remember when he's sick the first time? He's like, yeah, it's cancer, and he's like got the machines are in his room.
Oh, all the medical machines.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you said when he was 6. I was like, I don't remember a flashback.
No. The Dalmatian mice running around the whole movie, I thought that was pretty awesome. Remember when Richie goes and lives in the tent for a little bit? He puts all his trophies in there and shit. I thought that was pretty amazing. Eli's book cover when he's got the snake ripped in half. He's got no shirt on. I thought that was pretty amazing. Henry. All right. So one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Royal and Etheline are walking down the path, and he's kind of mad.
And Henry just pops out.
Henry pops up behind the tree
with groceries. He doesn't even say anything, right? He's just like, "Hey guys," and then just cuts to the next scene.
Yeah. And I think my favorite thing is Pagoda, the character of Pagoda. This is how he knifes the dude, then they become friends, and then he lives at the house, and then he knifes him again. He's like, "Oh, it's the last time you're gonna knife me." Like, that shit was so good.
Saves his life twice.
Yeah, saved his life twice. That was
after he stabs him twice.
But, saved his life twice.
Yeah. All right, so I got my favorite scenes, but someone else can talk now. Someone else tell me something else.
Well, that's my favorite scene is when Pagoda stabs Gene
Hackman. I have so many. I have 10
I think that's the funniest. That's the funniest part of the whole movie. Although no, there was another scene where I laughed out loud. I can't remember what it was. I'll try to remember. There was another scene that I should have written down that I literally laughed out loud. It might have just been the Pagoda stabbing Royal. What's your favorite scene, Jake?
It's hard to pick like favorite scenes because it was like there's so many fucking good scenes. Like from one of them standouts is maybe like from when Royal took his grandsons out to fuck around all day because they wouldn't ever like he like hit.
That's what he told him the first time Pagoda stabbed him.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just basically just doing one dangerous thing after another, from like riding horses to running through traffic to like jumping into a swimming pool, anything. Hilarious.
Are they riding on a trash can or a trash?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. Which
Remember
is
the
fun.
trash compactor?
I always wanted to do that as a kid too, so that was that was a very a nice moment for me. I'm
You
like,
never get
yeah,
away
fuck
with
yeah.
that.
I know, right?
We don't live in the fucking 20s.
You know what I love too?
Old man and 2 children.
Yeah.
I
This
love
isn't
how
Who Framed Roger Rabbit. There's no red car.
I love how when Royal realizes that he hasn't been in the room with all the games, the next time he's in there, he's having a meeting with Pagoda in there. Like he goes back in there after he realizes it's there. It's just how he has like a fucking cocktail and a cigarette in his hands. That's just
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
missed that part, but that's
secret
hilarious.
Side meetings in the closet.
yeah. But he only goes there after Chaz took him in there. He's like, I forgot about.
I haven't been in here. Then he finds the fucking javelina
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also watched it. I watched it last night just from beginning to end, and then today I was working on shit and I had it in the background. I was watching it again.
Did Jillian like it?
Jillian loved it.
Yeah.
She loved it.
So
It's great.
Steve Zissou is also on Prime. You guys should watch that one.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll give you.
Budapest too. Those are probably the 3 best ones.
Yeah.
I'd say Steve Zissou, Budapest.
I want to see Budapest for sure. That's I feel like that's the next one I want to watch.
But you should watch Steve Zissou too, though, man. It's just as good. It's great.
I feel like Budapest is it more stylized than the rest of them, or are they all kind of the same?
They're all the same. The only one that's not stylized is Rushmore and Bottle Rocket because it's before they had a real budget.
Rushmore still is, but not as much. It's not as pronounced.
Yeah, with camera movement and with the dialogue, but it just doesn't look as crazy because the production design is just not there yet.
True.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the colors, the colors and the camera are probably the 2 things that stand out the most.
And I mean, if you want to get crazy, you should watch his fucking animated films too. They're like stop motion. It's
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Mr. Fox and
Fantastic Mr. Fox is amazing.
Yeah, they're both good. They're both awesome.
I love Fantastic.
I think I'm a fan. I've never seen any Wes Anderson movie until this one. It's a good introduction for me, and I think I don't know why I was holding off on watching them. I think maybe I tried to watch one once, and I was just like, it's kind of weird or whatever. But sitting down and sitting through it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. They're silly movies. Well, this one was a silly movie that was beautifully shot with great actors.
They're all
and I mean, it from time to time I would just laugh. When she got her finger cut off, that might have been another. When she was like, "Hey, what happened to your finger?" And she's like, "I tell you, did you know I was adopted?" It's like, "No, well, I'm adopted." Then she tells why don't you put cousin Margot I don't know. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. I love when Royal tells Etheline he's dying as she's like walking down the road, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm not dying." She's like, "What?" And he's like, "I am dying." That shit was funny.
Do we know the whole time he's not dying? Like we see him fucking talking to his doctor and shit, and like we know, the audience knows that he's not dying.
That's one of my favorite little things that I noticed too. Like the doctor was the doorman the elevator guy from the original hotel that he got kicked out of.
Yeah.
And at one point he gets a page and it says like, "Hey, can you cover Steve's shift or some bullshit like that?" But then it's funny because at the end he's like checking on I think is it Eli or is it or he's like he's like you should be fine, just give blah blah blah, like gives him like a little diagnosis, and he's just like, he's not even a fucking doctor.
I did not realize that wasn't like Sanchez, or that wasn't that. There was like Sanchez and the other guy. Not
Dusty.
No.
Dusty.
Yeah, it was Dusty. That's right.
Dusty Sanchez. That's pretty funny.
I kind of only noticed that because I watched Rushmore right before I watched Royal Tenenbaums yesterday, and that guy plays Jason Schwartzman's dad in Rushmore.
Yeah.
Does Wes Anderson kind of use all the same?
Yeah.
The same actors? Obviously,
very
Bill
much
Murray's
so.
in every fucking movie.
What's dope is that Bill Murray's in mostly all of them, and then in the last couple, Harvey Keitel and Edward Norton have been in most of them, which has been dope. They all have like really small parts, which is fun.
Jeff Goldblum joins in during Steve Zissou.
Yeah.
Like the list goes on and on. He is
great.
Everyone wants to work with this
Now,
guy.
why? I wonder why do all these actors gravitate toward him? Is it his style?
Keep watching his movies.
The movies are unique. They're original. They're unique. That's
How many movies did he make before Grand or Royal Tenenbaums?
This is third.
Rushmore and Bottle Rocket. So Bottle Rocket
two movies I've never even heard of.
So Bottle Rocket was a movie written by him and
then
Owen Wilson, and it was very independent. They filmed it for like almost nothing, and it was good. It was a good movie, but it doesn't showcase anything you see in Tenenbaums.
No.
Then they made Rushmore, and you're like, oh, okay, like this dude's for real. Because Owen Wilson.
Rushmore was super legit movie.
Rushmore's
really good. Rushmore might be my favorite one of his.
And then this
So
movie,
after Rushmore, I'm just saying, this being his third movie, the list of actors in it is pretty ridiculous.
Well, Rushmore, when people saw Bill Murray in Rushmore and how it rejuvenated his career, because that is the movie that rejuvenated Bill Murray's career, people were like, yeah.
Never heard of it. I mean, have you ever seen a movie called Caddyshack?
Yeah, that was in the beginning of his career.
Never seen a movie called Ghostbusters?
Beginning.
I don't know, Bill Murray.
Also, the scene where the Royal confronts Henry in the house. He's like, "What's up, Coltrane? You talking jive?" He's like, "You call me Coltrane?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "No."
But if I did, what are you gonna do about it, or something like that?
Yeah, but if I did, you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Or when Bill Murray is like, "You're not in love with me anymore," and she's like, "Of course I love you, kinda."
Yeah. Well, I also think this is one of Gwyneth Paltrow's best roles.
Gosh, she was great.
Oh,
Who's your favorite Tenenbaum?
Probably Ari and Uzi.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's a part that made me laugh out loud. Yeah, I forgot. When he's like, how often does your dad have you working out? She's like 16 times a week. I laughed. That's the part I laughed out loud in.
Yeah.
16 times a week.
Eli is probably my favorite character just because of how crazy he is. Like, and dude, you want to talk about filmmaking, how good it is? How about the scene where they're confronting Royal in the room when Henry was like, "These are Tic Tacs," and in the scene before it happens, they're watching Eli on TV. And it's showing how his character is progressing worse and worse. But it's like something's happening, and then boom, it's out of it, and it zooms into the TV. He walks out of the room, and then Royal says, he's like, why would you act like that? And then Richie says he's on drugs. And then Gwyneth Paltrow walks out of the room to call him. And in that wide shot is when the rest of the scene happens. It's just like, fuck. Like,
so many, like that, the whole scene with what you were talking about with him confronting his Angelica Houston on the street. That was all fucking, that was like a 5-6 minute sequence.
There was only two times in the movie that I counted to where the conversation happened to where it was shot, cut, back. Like, and one of them was the scene where Henry and him are fighting. Otherwise, it's told in a master with things happening, or a 2-shot this way, or a 2-shot
perfectly framed.
Dude, in that scene, the camera stopped. She walks out of frame for a good 5 or 6 seconds, and then comes back in. Like, bro, it's just good filmmaking, man. I mean, he has some of the best.
That's why it's the most meticulous filmmaking I've ever seen.
It's some of it.
And that's why I want to see. That's why I want to look up his storyboards. I want to see how he plans his shots, because I guarantee they look exactly like his shots. You know.
Yeah. I think Stanley Kubrick and Paul Thomas Anderson are the only other two guys that I can say. Probably Scorsese too, maybe even Spielberg, because of how good his blocking is. But there's probably 10 guys that you can say fit into this category. You know what I mean? And he's one of them. He's definitely one of them.
So I would also agree that he's probably like top 10 directors.
Different style of filmmaking than almost anybody else, though.
But what I'm saying is
true.
But the meticulousness of it, like I guarantee you, Spielberg, Scorsese, fucking Kubrick, they plan just as hard as this guy does. The difference is that they're not.
List all the best directors. Yeah.
Fucking porn. It's his own movies. All his movies, they're just porn for your eyes. It's just, and you should watch the making of his movies, because a lot of his sets, like they're like really built small, and he uses them really well. And then a lot of, like, Grand Budapest, the whole hotel is a fucking miniature. The hotel doesn't even exist. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
Yeah, it's great. That movie was great. It made me want to watch more PTHA movies.
You gotta watch
Wes Anderson movies. I mean, not PTA.
You gotta watch Rushmore.
I get those two confused. I've seen a good amount of Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
You gotta watch Rushmore, Steve Zissou, and Grand Budapest for sure. Those are the ones you have to watch.
Yeah, I gotta watch like 5 of his 6 movies.
No, he's got like 10 or 12 movies. Some of them are all right. Like
Probably just watch all of his movies because he's really good. He's a great
some of
director.
them are all right.
I don't have this time.
Darjeeling, Moonrise Kingdom, they're all right. They're not that good, but they don't compare to these movies.
Take your time. Whenever. But yeah.
What's dope is you can watch them
Available.
because she'll enjoy them too.
Yep.
So my two other of my favorite scenes are the fire alarm scene when Ben Stiller wakes him up. He's like, "You gotta get fire," and he throws the chair down. He goes, "Obstacles." I thought that shit was pretty fucked up. And then my favorite scene, probably besides for Richie trying to kill himself because of how good the music goes with it, is when Margot picks Richie up at the bus stop and she gets off and it's just a close up of her face and the music starts and then like it goes back and forth. It's just well made, man. It's just well made.
It was great. It was great. That's the music was great, but you can cut it all out, and just the visual storytelling alone is enough to know what's happening. It's the way it's shot is just so. There was no other way to shoot that movie. That's the way it was. You get it. You could watch it and. You can watch it silent and still understand what's going on.
Yeah,
in all those scenes. It's a great movie. It was a great movie. He seems like a good dude, Wes Anderson. I feel like he's gonna do great things in the future.
He's got
based off of a 20-year-old movie.
He's got a pretty good career going, like 20 years in.
He shoots everything in Texas.
Shoots a lot in Texas. Yeah, he's from Texas.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, him and Owen Wilson came up together.
Did you notice like when they were going through the book when they would cut to like chapter whatever? Did you ever read like any of the first lines? It'd be exactly what would
I feel like
what
they
happened.
put it as a play and they put it into like a book. You know what I mean? Like that's what I feel like it was.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for finishing my thought.
I kept thinking this. I kept thinking it was just a novel. Looked like a novel. And it was read like a novel.
The narration really helped. I think the narration really was the cherry on top. And usually that could be the opposite. Usually narration could be like, that's not needed. But this movie was perfect for it. Like, it was absolutely perfect.
It was not needed. In fact, it was very sparse, too. It was only in the beginning and in the end, I think.
I like that they did that.
It wasn't needed. That's what was cool, is that it didn't feel out of place at all. But it really wasn't needed, and I think that just is testament to the writing of what he was saying and motherfucking Alec Baldwin's soothing, sexy voice.
I think the beginning really benefited from the writing though, because it showed you just how more eccentric it was. Like you would have gotten it for sure without it, but it gives it a boost of how eccentric the world actually is. Just the way it went down. Like I really
when
think
he's explaining through all the characters for sure.
I loved it.
Cool. We like the movie.
I think this is one of the only movies. How many other movies do you think we all liked? I know there was Handmaiden for sure. That was one of the only ones I can know we all like 100% were in on. There were some movies where we were like out on some parts and on others, but I think this and Handmaiden were all in on 100%.
Yeah, I mean, some of our top rated ones are like Handmaiden, Harold and Maude.
We're all in on that. I think we're all in on
Inside Man.
I think Sisters we were all in on.
Yeah, we all like Sisters. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the Asian or Korean movies I picked. Not the Japanese movies, the Korean films I picked. We all liked.
I'm going to say it right now. I think this is a better movie than Back to the Future.
Ooh.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I would rather watch this movie, and I think I would tell people it's a better movie than Back to the Future.
Yeah, well, Back to the Future's number 9 on your list.
Where is it on yours?
Mine's on number 3.
I got to imagine this is going to be pretty high on your list, this movie, Anthony.
Why would you say that?
Because you liked it a lot. Where's it going on yours, Jake?
What was this movie called?
This is The Royal Tenenbaums.
That's right.
2001, Wes Anderson. Where would it be with me? I don't. It's difficult. It's high, but where specifically it would land is tricky. For right now,
Why? Okay.
for right now, I think I'm gonna land it at number 10. We go number 10 for now. This could change. It could shift. But we're number 10, right under Let the Right One In, and then right over Blue Velvet.
Numero Diaz.
Numero Diaz.
I'm gonna
Schwartz,
go
where do you-
7.
7.
Right above Indiana Jones. Oh no, I'm gonna go. I'm sorry, hold on. Yeah, 7. Right after Blood Simple, right above Inside Man.
Cool. I'm gonna go number 1.
Nice.
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 Royalties. Numero uno.
Yeah.
If it's based on would I want to watch it again, I watched it again immediately. So yeah,
Yep.
I do. It's a great
Yep.
movie. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it immensely. It's a different style of movie making than I've ever seen. Of course, I know who Wes Anderson is. I've seen his work. I've seen just frames and colors and whatever, but I've never actually watched one of his movies, and it is awesome. It's not often you see like something completely different, and I know this is 20 years old, but it is something completely different than anything else I've ever seen. It's beautiful. It was a beautiful movie in every way. The storytelling, it wasn't the most complex story in the world. It wasn't the simplest story. There's like pseudo incest going on, and he was dying. It was great. It was great. It was just great. Everything about it was great. Number 1, A-OK. As of today, number 1.
I also love the scene when Bill Murray's character is trying to get Luke Wilson's character to help him find out like who the cheater was, and he's inside the fucking bird box and he punches the fucking glass. He's like, let's go fucking get him.
He's like, do you know who it is? He's like, no, I don't know. Oh, you want to just get him and kill him or something, and smashes the glass.
But the way that was framed, Bill Murray was standing here, and then there was the window, and he was inside the window, and he smashed it. It was just so good, dude.
Mordecai's cage.
Yeah.
Do you think this was I guess this would be for Schwartz question more of anything. Do you think this is more of one of his darker films? Like I think all of his movies are almost like more funny than this movie.
I think Rushmore is a little darker because Rushmore's is pretty dark. Rushmore's pretty dark. And even Grand Budapest. Ray Fiennes' character, he's funny, but he's kind of a bad guy in a way.
Yeah.
Like he's doing some fucked up shit.
Ray
Also,
Fiennes fucked up. I just watched Red Dragon where he plays the Red Dragon.
Have you never seen that before?
No, I've seen it.
Darjeeling also might be a little bit more dramatic. I don't know. This one like had very thematic. Like you said, there was like incestual shit. There was like attempted suicide, which was
but the only
beautifully
really
depicted.
Dark part was when he killed himself. I don't even think because it wasn't really incest. It was just
they weren't related.
Not technically, not by blood.
But I think Steve Zissou is a pretty more goofy movie than that. Steve Zissou's way more.
Yeah.
It's like Willem Dafoe's character is one of the best characters in the history of film in that movie.
Oh yeah.
He's so good.
Oh, Willem D's in it.
You'll love Life Aquatic for sure.
Yeah,
you said you knew the guy who did some of the music? He's in the movie.
I don't know him.
You
just got to hang out with him.
Yeah, sorry, you met him.
He played music and stuff.
They kissed. They only kissed. That's all.
They only kissed.
We kissed.
Well, the guy you kissed once is in this movie, and it's
he plays all the songs for it, right?
Yeah, he plays all the songs.
That's pretty rad.
And the rad songs.
Rad songs. I heard. I've heard that they are rad. I didn't actually hear the songs.
Well, you should watch the movie and listen to the songs.
I did have a really cool night with Sue George.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other people that were at a party that I was at. Not that I was just hanging out with them.
So you're best friends with Sue George is what you're saying. You guys like text and stuff still?
No, we just kissed once.
How come he had 2 first names? Did you ask him that? That would be my first question. And then why you have 2 first names?
No, I didn't talk to him a lot.
Oh. Only kiss.
We only kissed. We were playing Spin the Bottle. 7 Minutes in Heaven.
That's the beat.
You're not going to try 7 Minutes in Heaven?
So if you guys are ever looking for, Anthony, this is good for you. T-Bone is one of the owners of this company, and he can ship whatever, wherever. So you should talk to him.
Copy you.
Okay.
Mrs. Kelly.
Okay.
Shout out to the big cat.
Shout out to the big cat.
Shout out to the big cat.
Any last words for Wes Anderson's 2001 spectacular Royal Tenenbaums?
Watch the movie, man. Like you said, and like I said, when I first saw this movie for the first time, I watched it again immediately right after because I was just like, damn, that was like nothing I'd ever seen before. So watch it. Do yourself a favor, watch it.
Do yourself a favor.
Stop watching this podcast now.
I just thought one thing.
If you ever feel like watching, what's the movie we just watched yesterday?
Royal Tenenbaums.
Bad Lieutenant.
Oh, Bad Lieutenant.
Don't. And instead watch Royal Tenenbaums.
I would.
Any other movie on this list.
Do any of the 3 children smile at all ever in the entire movie?
3 children? Who's the children? Oh, in the beginning?
No, like even as adults, like the
Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't. I don't think Ben Stiller smiles.
Does.
I don't think Luke Wilson ever smiles the entire movie. Yeah.
2001 Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey Tenenbaums.
2001 Royal Tenenbaums. Wes Anderson. Go watch this movie if you like movies, or don't.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that was good. It was nice to watch a really good movie after 2 subpar movies in a row. What is your favorite Wes Anderson movie? Let us know at MMwM_podcast. That's our Instagram. Next week, Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth, 2006. That's available on Netflix. Watch that before next Wednesday. Then tune in next Wednesday for Making Me Watch Movies. Shout out to our thousands of loyal fans and all of our sponsors.